Hi, this is part 2 of how I got into UIUX. If you didn't watch the previous video, I highly recommend it. So we stopped at the part where I was doing a semester's worth of research. I think it was pretty fortunate that at the time there was a research being done by a PhD student. Because we only had a semester's worth of time, it wasn't feasible for us to all do each of our own research questions. So what we did was to carve out smaller research questions from the larger research, and we all took different parts to investigate. Now this was really fun for me because I got to unleash my analytical side. So I've always been very curious by nature, always asking why and how. So I think that natural curiosity was just second nature to me, and it made the whole process a lot more enjoyable. But of course, it's not without any struggles, because this was also the first time that I had to do something so independently, and I had a lot of autonomy, and I wasn't really used to that, but I have to say I enjoyed it. Just one thing to take note, in industry we call it UX, user experience, but in academia we are actually more focused on human-computer interaction. If you're wondering what goes on into research, we actually typically formulate hypotheses based on readings of prior research from prior researchers, and we would later think about how we would design our own experiments and what kind of prototypes we should be creating, and how should we conduct user studies in order to gather data to properly evaluate our hypothesis. So if this sounds interesting to you, I definitely recommend you to go and explore it, because I do know a friend who is actually doing user research. Fortunately, that paper was published and I was credited as co-author. So I feel this gave me some kind of credibility, especially prior to getting my first job, because now I have publication on my resume. Shortly after, I found a way to volunteer my skills, and I ended up doing usability audit for a mental health organization. That was really meaningful, because I believe what attracted me to user experience as a whole was the desire to help people, to make lives better, and design is a way to do that. Like, how incredible! After that, I managed to find some freelance work. Specifically, I was helping a business founder create her website, and I got to strategize the user experience of that whole website from end to end, and that was pretty fun. Right after that, I got my first job, and that's pretty much how the story goes.